So you're visiting Walt Disney World soon, you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, and you just found out something about a daily inspection. Don't worry, you're not the first person learning about this. I just learned about it earlier this year, and we're gonna talk about it now. So reach on over to your right, grab that buckle, insert it on the left, and pull that yellow safety tab, because we're going in. Hey everyone, my name's Kat. I'm glad you joined me here today. We went in depth about this topic in a previous video, and I'll go ahead and link that down below. But today I want to give you the information that you want and need. It's going to kind of be rapid fire. We're just sticking to the facts. Also, real quick, they are mowing the lawn outside, so I apologize for that, but it is what it is. So if you're staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, then according to Disney, you're going to have a daily inspection. And what that daily inspection is cast members coming into your room and they're going to look the whole thing over. What are they doing when they're looking the whole thing over? Well, they're opening closet doors, they're looking under beds, they're opening any other doors that might be open, they're looking out on the balcony, stuff like that. What are they looking for? Well, anything that could be problematic, harmful, anything like that. So if there's an issue with the room, they're keeping an eye out for that. They're also keeping an eye out if there's an issue with the guest, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe they brought something they shouldn't have, something that might be dangerous to other guests. When are they doing these visual inspections? Well, it's a good question. It could be at any time during the day. Based on my experience, there's a cast member who's doing rounds, so it could be first thing in the morning, it could be afternoon, it could even be in the evening. They might do multiple rounds throughout the day, depending on, when people had their room occupied signs up on the door or not. So let's talk about those room occupied signs. What if you have yours up? Like, are they gonna just skip over your room? Well, they might, but rest assured, they will return back later. In fact, I ran into a situation where I had my sign up, they came by a few times throughout the day, and then I ended up having to let them in later when I was in the room and relaxing. It was not great. Which leads me to the first of my tips regarding this topic. If you're gonna be out all day and you wanna get these inspections out of the way when you're not in the room, don't put your room occupied sign up on the door. Sure, you might like your privacy, goodness knows I do too, but according to the cast members I spoke to at Disney, they're going to have to come into your room, even if it's later in the evening, and they're going to do this non-optional inspection either way. Speaking of optional, do you have any options here? The short answer is not really. You can talk to Disney and say that you want to have these daily inspections done when you are present. That was the only option that I was presented with. So if you don't want someone poking around in your room while you aren't there, then you can contact the front desk and arrange for this to be done while you're there, set up a time or whatever. Of course, it's going to take time out of your Disney day, just one of the many things that you have to keep in mind. So let's talk tips and tricks. Here are some things that I do now that I know that people are coming into my room and kind of poking around. Number one, as far as health and safety is concerned, I cover anything that I'm going to be in close contact with. For example, my pillows, my toothbrush, stuff like that. I like to keep that kind of covered under blankets, tucked away. And the reason is this. I noticed that when I was visiting, there were some cast members who would enter rooms with masks on, some without, regardless of Disney's policies. So if that's a problem for you, make sure that any of those items that you're concerned about are covered, packed away, anything like that. They're getting louder. So let's talk a little bit about privacy. Now, whether or not that sign is on your door, someone can and maybe even will enter your resort hotel room when at Walt Disney World. Make sure anything that you want to keep private is packed away. This is something that you should be doing anyway, but it's good to just make note of. For any of you out there who haven't been doing this, yes, they have seen those boxers with Mickey faces all over them. They know that they're there because you leave them on the bed. If you want to keep that to yourself, tuck it away. Finally, let's touch really quick on security. All those valuables, that cash, all that stuff that you have left lying around and you're like, we just want to make it to rope drop, so I'm going to put the do not disturb sign up. Bad plan. Look, I have never encountered anyone taking my belongings or anything like that when I'm at Walt Disney World, but I'm not about to risk it. If you have something that's valuable, you have cash lying around, don't leave it lying around. Even if you have that do not disturb sign or room occupied sign up, take that stuff, tuck it away, Keep it out of sight, out of mind, and of course, utilize those safes when they're available, which I think is pretty much everywhere. Look, the reality of the situation is that this is happening. Why it's happening, how it's happening, that all can be different depending on who you're talking to. Like I said, link in the description down below for me ranting about this for quite some time. But if you are going to Disney and you're staying at a resort hotel, this is something I think you should be aware of, and now you are. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with me with the lawn equipment going outside. It's crazy, but we're working through it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.